It's Lizzie here, talking about a personal experience I've had. I got a few asks talking about maybe me sharing my experiences with the spirit following me. Uh, since I was very, very young, I remember having some kind of strange thing always around me. I remember in the night I would see a figure walking around up and down the hallway when I was small. It would watch me when I was sleeping. Uh, I remember as far back as maybe when I was 5. It followed me around forever and ever. It would have kind of cycles where it would get really, really bad, and then it would just kind of just stop. Then I would forget about it for a while, and then it would come back and do the same thing again, and then it would just pester me and then stop. For the longest time, I first thought it was a spirit, but then I thought maybe, I was having sleep paralysis. But as things progressed, I realized it wasn't sleep paralysis and it was actually a spirit haunting me and wouldn't leave me alone no matter where I traveled. I traveled all across the US, from Wyoming to Maryland, back to Wyoming, and then to California, to Florida. It just followed me everywhere. And the spirit is why I got into witchcraft. Because to a point, I just got so sick and tired that I was like, no more. I want it gone. So I dove into witchcraft and figured out a way to get rid of it. And that's how I started witchcraft. It was because of that spirit. So you could look at it as both a good and a bad thing. It was awful because it was an awful spirit following me around, haunting me. But it was good because it introduced me to witchcraft. Yeah, that's pretty much the story. There's not much to it. I mean, I remember a couple times when we were in the old house, a couple years ago. I remember a few times I would hear my sister's electric keyboard. You have to plug it in for it to play. Well, I remember a couple times when I was home alone and it was unplugged, that I would hear it playing. Things would go missing all the time. You would feel someone rubbing your back while you were in the kitchen. I had some awful experiences when I tried to sleep. I remember one time when it got so bad, I was just laying in my bed. I woke up, I couldn't move. And I was hearing like this whispering in my ear, and it asked me if I was sleeping, and it was a man's voice, and it scared the living shit out of me. It was awful. And I would have constant dreams of being dragged out of bed, awful dreams. I remember another time where I woke up and I felt it patting my back, trying to put me back to sleep. It was just some crazy stuff, some awful stuff, and I'm not very fond of spirits. It's because, well, I've been kind of finding out recently that people in my immediate family are actually rather prone to spirits. My mom is, my sister, my brother. My mom specifically right now is because my grandfather's spirit is, I thought I got rid of him when we moved in here because I sleep in the room he died in, and I removed him from the downstairs area and I thought he was gone. But recently he's been really pestering my mom. He's been having nightmares, can't sleep, having just awful panic attacks, just feeling something watching her. So I had cleansed my room earlier today, or had cleansed the upstairs because she asked me to, and I just felt so sick afterwards, and I could feel something watching me, and I could hear noises. So he's definitely back. And my grandfather's not a good man. He was not a good man. He was a Nazi, World War II, all that stuff. He was a child abuser. He abused his wife, and he was just scum. Awful, awful person. The only memory I have of him is when he locked me and my sister in a closet. Unfortunately, the closet had a giant hole in it, so we were like, maybe I was 4 and she was like 3, and we could have fallen down in it and gotten hurt. And he just kept saying that the boogeyman was gonna get us. So yeah, you can see why I want to get rid of him. But yeah, that's all my experiences with spirits have been kind of negative. I'm not really a big fan of spirits. I do my best to avoid them as much as possible. yeah, if anyone had like tips that could possibly help get rid of the spirit, that would be awesome. I do have experience with it, but all the information I can get would be best. So I hope everyone has a great day. Blessed be.